Probably one of the best phones to date, just before the Nokia Lumia 950, the Sony Xperia XZ Premium is a perfect example of when class meets with business. Now, before I begin this video, let me read you the device specs and then reveal the year of release. The XZ is rocking a 4K tri-luminous display, a single 4K camera which can record slow-mo video of up to 720p at 960 fps, a Snapdragon 835 processor, and IP68 dust and water resistance. All this achieved in the year of 2017. Reading those specs in 2022 sounds quite promising. Seeing as the XZ Premium was a flagship, it was no surprise that most of these specs were also seen on other 2017 flagships. Now, the point I'm trying to make is older smartphones are truly capable even in today's time. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Let's get into the review of the Sony Xperia XZ Premium. So starting us off with this video, we have design. Sony's phones may have a premium label, but it's truly not all that. When it comes to the design, the Sony Xperia does fall pretty short. The Gorilla Glass 5 front and back does give this phone some feel of robustness, but the phone's edges are visibly plastic, and it's this material that you feel when you touch it. Not the end of the world, although it does make this phone seem less expensive than it is. Something you don't want when paying big bucks. The flat fronted back does mean this phone doesn't nestle into your hand quite as nicely. This can be solved by you getting a case or a bumper. There's also a lot of bezel surrounding the display, which increases the XZ Premium dimensions to 156 by 77 by 7.9 millimeters, making it taller and much more broader. These designs are shown to be among Sony's favorite, as this is adopted in the Sony Xperia Z5 Premium and the Xperia XZ, to name a few. These bezels enable for dual front-facing speakers and allow you to hold the phone in landscape mode while gaming or watching movies without your fingers covering the display. The power button on the right side of the device does fit comfortably under the thumb when held in your right hand, and is enhanced by the inclusion of a fingerprint scanner built into the key, allowing you to unlock the phone without entering a password. While the Sony Xperia XZ Premium's appearance doesn't stand out, its screen is in a class of its own. Following the Xperia Z5 Premium, the XZ Premium was Sony's second smartphone to include a 4K display, supported by the company's Bravia TV technology. The 4K resolution on this Sony Xperia XZ Premium is 3840 by 2160p, which when extended across 5.46 inches yields an impressive pixel density of 807 ppi. The XZ does come with 64GB of internal storage and 4GB of RAM. Although these specs don't sound quite promising in today's time, I can assure you that this phone does get by rather well. Moving on to the camera on the Sony Xperia XZ Premium is superb. It has a Sony-made 19-megapixel rear sensor with HDR, face identification, electronic image stabilization, predictive face detection, and laser autofocus. The camera button on the Xperia XZ Premium is a two-stage key which lets you take focus on your photo by pushing the button halfway down, then completely pressing it to shoot an image. This is quite similar to one on my Sony a6000 camera, and I just thought this was pretty cool. It's a useful feature that makes shooting images much easier, as the Xperia XZ Premium enormous size makes pressing the on-screen shutter button quite difficult, especially when using one hand. You may also activate the camera app by holding down the shutter key at any time. Finally, we get into the battery. A 3230 mAh non-removable battery is housed inside the shell of the Xperia XZ Premium. It's not the largest of capacities, but it will get you through the day. However, battery size isn't everything, and depending on how the phone is used on a day-to-day basis, the battery should be necessary after 5 years of normal use. Then again, this task does prove rather moderate, according to iFixit. Testing this phone's battery with real racing did prove rather taxing and exhausting to the phone's battery, although I could happily say that this phone ran rather well, and I'm quite impressed. One feature to note is the battery saver feature integrated into the phone software, and upon toggling it, the phone is noticeably sluggish. It's really not worth using it, even if you're running low on power. If you own this phone, your best bet is finding a nearby charger. I know this somewhat defeats the purpose of this feature, but trust me, you'll thank me. The only time I'll ever think of using this feature is when the phone is low on power and I want to increase the standby time on the phone when it's already amazing. Other than that, the battery is still in great shape and works rather well for its age. The Sony Xperia XZ Premium is a feature-rich smartphone that has all the essential components of a top smartphone, including a stunning 4K display, a powerful processor, a great camera, and a long battery life. For 2022, this phone is a great example of how smartphones were able to pack in great features at the right price. If I had to give this phone a proper rating out of 10, this phone deserves a solid 8. The reason for this score is mainly due to the age and advancements in other phones, but then again, this phone was way ahead of its time. Anyway, if you have this phone, trust me, use it and make slow-mo footage. It's awesome. And if you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. Other than that, I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.